So the part of the season, especially up here in Canada, where most people buy new clubs because they want to be ready for spring, has kind of passed. We're sort of into the season now. And so I've had a chance for the last many months to see countless golf swings, countless golfers, a lot of data, and test a lot of irons. So when I tell you that I've picked just two, are just far and away more frequently the thing that people leave with. And I don't believe in, at the moment, telling you that, hey, here's the best iron, and it's a small cavity back, and it's a 33 or 34 degree loft. Great. 90% of the people who come in here, and I might be exaggerating, I've been known to exaggerate, but I'm not off by much, are going to fit into, let's call it, a player's distance iron. They're more avid players, or they're aspiring to be more avid players, but they probably don't have elite level ball striking control for strike point. They probably don't have, let's say, elite level shaft lean. When we get past all the marketing and what people say on forums and what they may believe, and you actually only focus on the player in front of you, the numbers that come out on the screen, and in my case, actually watching their golf swing with cameras, you actually end up with a category of iron that a lot more people than you would think end up having the best chance with, having the best chance of hitting more greens, better miss hit performance, hitting it a little bit further, which most people do. And the two I'm going to show you today leave with more customers than everything else in here combined by quite a bit. So let's start with the Mizuno 925 JPX forged. The shaft options from Mizuno are unmatched. I mean, no upcharge shaft options are unmatched by anyone else. A bunch of grip options as well. I think I talked about this in another video. The iron has so many good things going for it. Let me go through it as I hit a few. So the first thing it has going for it is really good distance. Obviously struck that one well. We'll look at forgiveness. It is a 30-degree 7-iron. Yes, by most people's standards who may have grew up in a previous generation, that's a jacked up club. It's a 6-iron. I will tell you that most people that come in here produce their best 7-iron flight with something around a 30-ish degree 7-iron, which this of course is. The first thing it noticeably does better than other clubs in this category is the sound, the feel, the softness. That one even a little bit better. Actually hit it slightly thin, interestingly, and yeah, not a performance loss. It certainly didn't lose a bunch of height. It's a forgiving iron. Now, it's not, in my experience, quite as forgiving as the other club I'm going to show you, but given the profile, given the looks of this, from address, the top line, the amount of offset, the sole is pretty interesting because it's a wider sole, but they bevel it, so the effective sole, like what actually touches the turf, is actually a little bit more narrow, which is kind of cool. Should a person looking at this category of irons, who's a 10 handicap, be losing sleep over turf interaction? No. I mean, I'm not personally interested in bullshitting people and telling them that that's a big concern, but it's a nice feature. It's something that other companies just didn't do. Mizuno chose to do it, and it looks cool, and it makes sense. Pretty nice there. In my experience, most people would love to play the best looking, best shaped club that still gives them like really nice ball speed, really good distance, and allows them to miss hit some shots and not have an embarrassing result. So it's kind of low in the heel. You can see the yardage is not really changing. The ball speed was actually almost the same as the previous shot, which had quite a different strike. The sound, honestly, and the feel are awesome. I think it's, I hit a lot of clubs like this now when I'm making videos. I'm almost getting more addicted to the feeling of the way a ball comes off a hotter iron like this. Not sure if I'm ever going to be able to go back to, something that's just a normal one-piece forged club. So that is thin beyond belief. Thin to a level of it shouldn't have gotten in the air. So yes, I lost about 15 feet of my height on the ball. I only lost 1.5 miles of ball speed. That's kind of crazy. I'm kind of getting away with murder here. I'm hitting the green from 190 It's a little further than I really should get based on my delivery because I'm not exactly the best at compressing the ball, with the most downward angle of attack. This is overperforming for me. I'm getting better results. Okay, so I kind of want to toe one. Because that's something I see a lot is the toe in people's current irons. They lose 2.5, 3 clubs of distance, and I find these do a lot better. Let me try to toe it. I wouldn't say I failed, but it didn't toe it by all that much. But I mean, if you want to use that as a starting point, I did toe it a little bit, 6 millimeters in the toe. The ball came off, it was a bit faster swing, came off with tons of speed. Basically unrecognizable in terms of performance from a centered strike. Okay, actually toe it. Actually towed it. Wonderful. Okay, 14 millimeters toe. A little bit slower swing, but let's be fair here. That still reached the green. It didn't really kick it offline too much. And 14 millimeters in the toe is a lot. That's a lot. There's not really any weaknesses to this particular club. Is it as forgiving as what I'm about to pick up? No. Are there players that will look at this and go, feels a bit beyond my skill level? Yes, but I will tell you that in here, because we are super honest with people and we tell them, like, here's some things you can work on your swing during the session. As you kind of improve those things, do you want something you can grow into, like a little more aspirational? And pretty much always people go, yeah, I can see that. We work on some, who cares what we're doing, strike drill, path drill, working on them hitting a draw for the first time. And they look at a club like this all of a sudden and go, shit, that's something I actually I wouldn't have imagined I'd be able to play. It works really well for me. I can see that there's some mishits there, but they're not the end of the world. Let me go this direction. So that's kind of the extra layer that you can do, or at least that we do. The second iron I'm taking out, you may notice I moved the green back a couple yards. It is 1 degree stronger. It's a 29 degree 7 iron. Yes, I hear you. It is very strong. And it may surprise you that it's actually a ping. Not necessarily people's sort of first choice when it comes to irons. I don't know if Ping's going to want to hear that, but I hear it. A lot of people end up buying these because they're fantastic. And they say to me as they walk out the door, I'm like, man, I would not have expected that I was going to get Ping irons. Or they'll say, oh, my buddy will be surprised that I got Ping irons. I hear that all the time. At address, it is a little bit longer blade profile than the Mizuno. To me, it maybe looks like it has a touch more offset. I think they've done a pretty good job on the sole width of the Ping as well. It's not super wide, and they have beveled it off a little bit. And it's a little bit, spicier, partially from the loft, but also partially that I think in my experience with the many people I've seen hit it, I do think the face of this might be a little bit hotter, even at the same loft, because I have bent other clubs like the Mizuno a little strong and seen it. I think this thing has a little bit more heat. The shaft option situation versus Mizuno, it's not even close. Sorry, Ping. It's just not even nearly as good. It's fine. They have good options. Here's the reality. In pure value, if you hit them both exactly the same and you had no preference, yeah, I can see some people saying the Mizuno is the one I'm going to go with for some of those reasons. I will tell you that usually between the two, there's a strong preference for other things, and a lot of people find this club is more forgiving. They see a distance, a carry, a height that they've just never seen before. So I see that happen a lot with this, and for that reason, I think it's a pretty special club. Let me hit a couple. I mean, it's not the one I would have liked to start with, but I'm just going to leave it to show you. I almost missed the ball. I almost missed the ball. I almost topped it, and I heeled it quite considerably. It had absolutely no business kind of reaching the front of a green. It's a reasonably large green, but that felt like a shot that I should be hitting again from 20 feet in front of me. So you'll see this with this club, I think, purely on forgiveness. For the size of it, I've not seen anything come close. Honestly, I hit this with people between a G440 iron, which is definitely a more forgiving iron in theory, and this, I don't see huge differences, not out of this world differences. I get people that come in thinking I must be a G440 guy that end up leaving with this, or at least considering it, because they're shocked at how they get away with actual murder, like I just did. That one's hit more like a person who knows how to play golf. It's not a perfect strike, as you can see from the numbers, but gives me just crazy good numbers. The ball has a ton of speed off of it. It is, I'm using a ball that's appropriate, so I'm using a Pro V1X, so both these clubs, I'm not relying on low spin. We're getting good distance from ball speed. So, depending on your speed, I tell people, let's get a spin rate that works. I will hit a couple with a lower spin ball for fun at the end of this. There'd be very little that I, without changing my golf swing, could do to hit a better shot with this particular club in my hand from that distance. So not hit quite as well, it's kind of thin. Not a huge difference, not a huge difference. So obviously I'm swinging faster than the average person. You got to think of it as percentage. That carry yardage did go down by about 6 or 7 yards, but that's at 195 yards. So if you're hitting the ball 150, you can kind of do the math. A lot of people are finding when they're hitting these, a really good strike, let's say is their 155 club or something, a miss hit is going 151 or something, and they're looking and going, wow, that's like crazy to me. And that's something I feel like these do at an extremely superior rate to anything else in this category. So even on one where I leave the face open, it's kind of interesting. Like leave the face open. It's got a lot of ball speed. It's got a lot of consistency though. It wasn't a crazy high spin rate. It wasn't that different than my, call it middle face shot. I'm not doing this on purpose to have an agenda, but a lot of people fear, when I middle one and hit it on center, it's going to go 210. But when I leave the face open and spin it, it's going to go, 160. I don't see that. If you pick an appropriate ball and you have awareness to your delivery and how you hit the ball, I think you'd find these actually are pretty consistent front to back. I towed it? I did tow it. I didn't mean to, and I think I swung faster, but even with that in mind, how much faster did I swing? A mile and a bit faster, so it wasn't that crazy. We hit a 14 or something toe earlier, and I'm telling you the Mizuno iron does great. It's at a point with this at times where I don't even see the distance change sometimes with people, like 10 toe, 12 toe. Once you get into the 20 toes, then you're just holding on for dear life, hoping you don't hit it in the water. Again, it does that pretty well. But this thing, it's the toe king of irons. It doesn't sound and feel, in my opinion, as good as the Mizuno does, but I also frequently, and I mean very frequently, hear from customers, I prefer the feel of this ping. It feels like it's coming off like a rocket. I feel like I'm smoking this thing. Great. Feel is subjective, so don't assume that soft or soft forging or whatever is the best thing or something to do, something to prioritize over actual performance. That one should just be pretty normal and good. Yeah, just hit it well, slightly left to the pin, probably 25, 30 feet. Good spin rate. As I said, there's things I think the Mizuno is a little better with in terms of, I really prefer the fitting experience with that because the shaft options are ridiculously good. The amount of weights and the graphite in various weights and flexes and stuff, I don't have to even think or have a conversation with someone about, hey, that might get more expensive, hey, that's going to be an upcharge. It's nice for me, but the performance of these is definitely something special. Both of them have extremely good things to offer. And whether we like it or not, whether our egos like it or not, the vast majority of people are going to get their best objective results between clubs like this. If they really want to work on their swing and they come in and say, please don't fit me into a strong lofted iron, of course there's other irons in here that I really like. But if you are looking for something that is special and you could hit some sort of personal best at the same club head speed, I'm going to hit a slightly lower spin ball here and see if we can get one that kind of puts it a full club or more beyond what I normally hit my 7-iron. I don't think I swung faster. No, I didn't. Yeah. So it's a lot less spin, and it's 10 yards further. I personally, fitting someone would make an assessment. If someone was asking me right now what I think, is that okay? Can I play a ball like that? I would ask the questions. I'd say, well, I mean, you're hitting it crazy high, very steep descending angle. Do you play really firm greens? No, I don't. It's like, so go play a round of golf with a standard Pro V1. If you have no trouble stopping on the green and you like hitting it 205, keep going. If you find that you're inconsistent, if you find that you're getting rollout, fine, switch to a higher spin ball. But you got a lot of options there. Don't get obsessed with like this whole, hey, it's too hot of an iron for me. It's this and that. All these clubs can be bent. Frequently do retrospec for people on the Ping that actually do need more initial loft to get a good ball flight. I frequently do weaker specs on the Mizunos. There's people that can play stronger specs on this and stop their set at a 6 and a 7 iron. Let yourself be open-minded about it. Try to work with someone that has a little bit of a no bullshit attitude, the way that we do here, which is pretty unique. And as we're doing videos and running the channel, it makes it tougher because the reality of a channel like this is it needs people's support. I know people appreciate the honesty of it, and we want to keep doing that. We don't accept money from any of these manufacturers. No one is paying us to do reviews. So often people do ask me, hey, I'd like to support the channel. What can I do? I live somewhere else. I can't come to the shop. Thank you. We do appreciate that. I really do. There is a super thanks thing in the comments where you can leave a little tip. It helps, believe me, helps us pay the bills. And we do have, I'll leave a link, the ability for you to order clubs through us. So we obviously price match pretty much anything unless it's a crazy sale. You can get your clubs that you would have bought anyway through us. You can get a little bit of advice from me or the fitters. It would go a long way. We want to keep doing it our way. I have no intention of ever changing the way that I speak, which is this is the reality of the situation. This is what I think. This is what I see with real people, real golf swings. And that is the deal at Golf Liberty.